What would you do if you arrived at a major work event only to find out minutes before it's live and you're on duty, you're actually working, that you are responsible for a significant portion of patient care and you've been provided with no information up front? My name is Tammy Dunnett, your leadership and communication skills coach, and in today's Courageous Conversations, we're looking at withholding information, one of the 10 most offensive workplace behaviors you will see, and we're working through a powerful script that you can get in your download, 50 Powerful Scripts. Now, withholding information is also known as knowledge hiding, and people will do this for a variety of reasons. They may pretend that they haven't heard what others are saying. They may intentionally keep information from you, or they can offer inaccurate information. So there's a few ways in which withholding information can show up. Now, typically we find out people have been withholding information after the event. So these scripts in this category under withholding information in your download will likely be more reflective post-event conversations. And before we get into that, I want to share with you that the Harvard Business Review in November of 2019, Joe Zhang published an article called "Why Withholding Information Will Not Give You an Advantage." I added competitive. And here's what's fascinating. 60% of employees had a difficult time getting their colleagues to share information that is vital to their work. It is costing US firms up to $47 million in lost productivity costs. This is huge. But in organizations where people feel like they can collaborate, they can be transparent with the information that they are permitted to share. So I'm not talking about, information that you've been told you can't pass down yet, it's not ready for general consumption. There are sometimes things leaders have to keep tucked away, but when you do have something you can share and you intentionally choose not to share it, pretend you don't know it, or give misinformation, this is what we're talking about today. But those firms who have transparent sharing of knowledge, notice that their stocks go up 2 to 3 times and they have a 50% lower turnover rate. So listen, guys, withholding information is not actually helping you or the organization. In fact, quite the opposite. Now, today's example comes from my personal vault, and this is a story about when I was working as a military nurse. We were at the air show and I had a significant role in maintaining patient safety and evacuation should there be an event. But I wasn't told that until I arrived on scene 15 minutes before my reported duty time to start work. That morning, the entire team went out early and I was told to show up at noon. Despite the fact that they were all there 4 hours ahead of time and I offered to come with the team, I was told to show up at noon. Now, as a good soldier, I come 15 minutes early and ask how I can support. And it was at that moment I learned I had a significant role in the care and evacuation of patients should we have something catastrophic happen. So a plane goes down, maybe a passenger, maybe a participant who's watching stumbles and cracks their head open, or they have a heart attack, nurses, I think worst case scenario. I was shocked that this is what my role was, and I hadn't been given any information ahead of time. Now, in the military, we have these things called orders, and the orders will go over date, time, location, radio signals, our allies who we're working with, and the evacuation route. It will have everything in there that you need to know to complete your task. None of that was provided to me ahead of time. And so in the moment, I obviously just panicked. I went and grabbed her orders, which were thick, went into a back room and tried to read through them as best I could because I was being positioned away from the main group and into a tent that was further in where the observers were. Now, I did have some great volunteer medical staff there, so medically I wasn't worried so much about what we would do if we responded, but it was all the other pieces I was responsible to coordinate that I was a little concerned about. Now, in the moment, I said nothing other than just get busy and get to work because I wasn't going to let her make me look incompetent. But for the afternoon, I was stressed out because I was feeling unprepared. I was feeling like if we had any patients come through, the quality of their care might be decreased as a result. So I knew this was about me looking incompetent and it wasn't about making sure our patients were safe. So the script I'm going to offer up here about withholding information in this situation is a post-debrief conversation with a supervisor. It's my understanding that there was more information available regarding this situation. I believe if I had known more, it would have affected how I performed. So what I love about this script is that It's just saying, hey, I have an understanding that there was more information and it would have been useful ahead of time. So it's pointing out that we've got a communication problem between the person who's responsible for coordinating all the events and the people who are doing the job. That's a big gap we want to hone in on. It's not the person doing the job at the pointy end, it's the person who's doing the job at the top end and disseminating information down. It also shares that I think I could have done a better job if I had this. It's pointing us to the direction that your performance or my performance was based on the input that I had at the time, and that it could have been different. The output could have been different, more effective, more productive, more cost effective if the information would have been shared. So this is now looking again at the organizational impact and taking the heat or the inappropriate target off the person who has just been targeted by this withholding information. Now, healthy workplace relationships are possible, and it will require that we all step in and have these courageous conversations when they show up. So we need to be in full ownership that we are part of the solution and confidence that we can have these hard conversations using a script to start them to move things forward towards a more psychologically safe and trusting environment. Don't forget to subscribe and follow and share this with 5 of your friends, because I can tell you, with 60% of people not getting the information they need, your friends need to hear this. So don't forget to share it with them.